Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'll be checking Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Now this game was released last year, December or November last year, and it was also added to Xbox Game Pass, right? So everyone can actually give it a try. Even right now, it's still in Game Pass, which is great. Now, I remember when that game first launched, it had a number of issues because it had a number of frame rate dips and issues. Also, there was some graphics artifacts and that kind of stuff, but looks like that has been pretty much fixed. First of all, the performance is pretty much locked 60 frames per second on Xbox Series X. I can't really speak for any other platforms, of course, because I didn't test that game on other platforms. But for when it comes to Xbox Series X performance, it's pretty much locked 60 frames per second. And I was driving around the city for a while now, and and it runs very well. So let's steal that. Ooh, oh dear! I just run over a policeman, so I might be in trouble now. So anyway, let's run away. I would say not the best start to the game, don't you think? But anyway, the cool thing about this game right now is that it's not only locked 60 frames per second, but also now there's hardly any artifacts in the graphics. Like, there's a lot of like power lines over here, and I think that was the best kind of way to actually see it. Like back then when the game first launched, you wouldn't really see like a nice smooth lines. You would see like artifacts, like pixelated something, not the power lines, that's for sure, right? So that game was full of artifacts like that, and it wasn't only about these power lines, it was all about like different edges like these nets or whatever, right? Like sometimes even if you looked like far in the distance, like these palm trees would be pixelated as well. So it wasn't really looking that great back then, but that actually improved now big time. And I must say that this game is much cool to play right now because of the performance as well. I mean, the game is still fun. Some of the actual characters and the story is pretty cool as well. And obviously San Andreas was one of those games that you could like do all kinds of stuff in that game. Get fat, and then you would have to go to a gym to burn that fat and that kind of stuff, right? So it's still there. Obviously I'm at the very beginning of the game, so really haven't really done much in that game just yet. But as you can see, I'm just driving around the city, and there's like hardly any frame rate drops, which I was getting before. I don't have any gun, unfortunately. I was hoping to maybe destroy some things around, but yeah guys, I'm not trying to say that this game is perfect. Some people won't like the art style because it's changed a little bit. I don't actually mind. I actually think that it looks cool, but the great thing about this game is that they added reflections now as well. The lighting looks cool as well. There's no artifacting anymore, so that's a big win for me. And like I said, it's in Game Pass, guys. So if you want to give it a try, if you want to play it again, give it a go again, because I think it's worth it. Like, at least actually some of these older titles are actually much more fun than I used to thought. Really, they haven't really lost much of their charm, if you know what I mean. So they may not be perfect technically, because they're not, of course. These games don't look that good anymore, but when it comes to let's make some havoc over here. But when it comes to just gameplay and stuff, it's still fun. these games are still fun. I'm trying to make that car explode, you know. Boom. What is going on here? Oh, I'm going to get a... There we go. There we go, there's some explosions and there's no frame rate drops. Oh, and I got wasted in the process. But anyway, like, I got some explosions and I really wanted to check, because like for the most part you would get most of the frame rate dips during when you know, these cars would explode and that kind of stuff. And as you can see, as you saw, there wasn't any frame rate drops. That's a nice car. Actually, not really, but anyway. So yeah, you know, it's a good game now. They improved it a little bit. It's actually one of the best GTA games, to be honest with you, because this particular one offers nice big open world, actually quite interesting story, and there's also gameplay mechanics, a lot of stuff you can do in the city, like I said, going to gym and whatever, right? That kind of stuff. And yeah, this game is still a lot of fun. And it actually looks good now, right? Because it's actually 4K, running at 60 frames per second. By the way, there's a performance mode in this game. Let me show you this over here. Options, graphics, and... fidelity mode. So fidelity mode is basically higher resolution, and I think some graphics settings are up a little bit as well, which I don't necessarily see any like big difference in graphics, but as you can see, this is 30 frames per second, right? So it's not really that great. So I would never play this game. And by the way, if you actually compare like resolution even, it's actually not that higher than it was in performance mode. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I think Digital Foundry did say that some of the graphic settings change, maybe shadows, something like that, I don't know. Let's switch it back to performance mode now. I mean, the game looks pretty much the same. We still got the reflections. I don't know. So, like, for me, like, performance mode is the way to go in that game, because it just, hey, it looks good and it plays smooth 60 frames per second. So I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, I know that like some people say, oh, they could have done better job with that, with the whole trilogy, like to do a proper remake. But you know, I wouldn't complain if they made a remake, but you know, but they did what they did, so we've got this remaster, and it's actually pretty cool. It's actually running pretty well. Can't complain. So let's just this is, by the way, this is where I live now apparently. So let's park the car and save the... Obviously they improved textures, they improved a lot of things. You know, the game just looks much better. Obviously it's not like next gen looking game, but yeah, it looks decent. Obviously, if you were to go and play like a PlayStation 2 version of this game, I mean, you wouldn't be happy about it, that's for sure. But now it's much better. By the way, I like the San Andreas when it's getting dark, because you've got the extra color palette. It just looks much better, right? The lighting looks cool. The reflections, the neons over there. You know. So that all looks really nice and clean. I like it. So guys, if you've got Game Pass, I think it's only on Xbox Game Pass, not PC Game Pass. Unfortunately, not really sure why. So give it a try. I mean, if you are younger one, if you're one of the younger guys, you might have never played it, to be honest with you. So if you haven't played it, I think it's still worth a shot. If you played it and the nostalgia is still in you, I mean, you're going to have a lot of fun with this game for sure, because it's really good. Like, especially now that they improved graphics and performance, 60 frames per second. So that's very good news. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for support. Really appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next one. Take care.